week here?
I thought we just didn't tackle well in the previous game. Some of it's age of certain players, but others we just got to tackle better. We missed several tackles that would have made the game Saturday quite different past Saturday, and so we've had time to practice, and we got some young guys who are continuing to get better, and that's the object of the bye week.
Randy, with the hitting you're allowed to do, how do you practice or how do you sharpen that skill?
Well, you're just not allowed to bring them to the ground all the time, but at the end of the day, it's getting on the guy and running your feet and wrapping up and grabbing. So, the rest of it is just the finish. And that you can do, we do that with bags, like lay down bags that we fall on.
When you talk about, developing younger guys, is there a certain extent that, like, it can only go so far in practice? Like, they just have to learn in the games?
Oh, no doubt. You know what they call that? Experience.
Yeah.
And when you look at guys, you go, wow, they're young, or wow, they're old, and experience matters. And it matters more in situations where, things aren't going well, and guys have been there before, they react differently. Young guys, sometimes, it's like, oh, geez, what do I do now? And, there were times we did that. Other times we acted well and make good plays.
Would you say that lack of experience, I mean, you guys are replacing some guys who have been around for 3-4 years as starters. Do you think that lack of experience has probably been your biggest weakness on defense?
Well, it is definitely a little bit of a weakness. I mean, 7 of those guys went to the NFL, so they obviously were extremely productive. I think 6 of the top 9 guys, production-wise, are gone. So, yeah, that matters a little bit. But the younger guys are coming on, and the guys who have played some that are now what you would call the experienced guys, it's that time. We've gone through the preseason, and it's now time for them to step up.
What impresses you about Plummer from Louisville when you watch him on film?
He's an experienced guy. I mean, he's played in 3 different schools. That would be called an NFL guy a lot of places. He's probably as old as Ken Pickett, I would guess. But he makes smart decisions. He's elusive running the ball, and he throws the ball well. And they've got good receivers to catch it, so they're good offense.
Would you say this is the most balanced offense you guys have had to face so far this year?
Yeah, they run the ball very well. I don't know if they're leading the league, but they certainly are close if they're not. They got 2 good running backs who carry the ball well, and then they throw it well, and then they coordinate that well. It's a good offense.
As an experienced coach who's been around and seen the good and the bad of a lot of different teams, how do you handle a situation like this for yourself? What kind of things do you do maybe to change what you've been doing?
Well, you got to look at everything, and then you got to figure out what needs to be changed and what doesn't need to be changed. At the end of the day, in situations where you don't play well, you got to go back to your basics, back to your foundation, and tackling, getting off blocks, alignment, keys, all those things make you a better football team. And then, once you get there, then you got to bring them down.
I feel like Jeff Brom is kind of well known for his offensive coaching. I mean, what is his reputation? What have you heard about him and how he approaches games, calls games, that kind of thing?
Well, he's an excellent play caller. As you watch the game, he mixes things up. I've never gone against him, so I can't speak to that. But I do know from people I've heard from that he's an excellent offense coordinator and does a great job of keeping you on your toes.
Randy, do you guys have like a number one? Of those top 3 corners that you have, is there a number one who will follow the other team's number 1 receiver? Or are you comfortable?
No. Yeah, we'll just keep rotating them.
Yeah, just kind of along those lines, when you have the 3 top guys, you want them on the field as much as possible. Does your mind ever wander to guys like Noah Bigelow, Rylan Gandy, like, hey, we should probably get these guys some snaps? Not that you're thinking ahead to next year, but you have 3 seniors at corner getting all the snaps. I mean, do you look for opportunities for those guys?
No, the 3 best guys are going to play and if the 4th guy was in that mix, he would rotate in a little bit. At this point, though, those 3 guys are the 3 starters, so there's not enough reps in a game for those 3, let alone, adding a 4th at this point. Sure, you would love to, but it's just not the way it works, unfortunately.
Sam Grima is now the starter at defensive end. What led to that decision? What have you seen from him?
He made more plays last week. It's a weekly thing, and the best player, the one who makes the most plays, the most productive players play. And then the other guys obviously rotate in, and the same thing at corner. The most productive 2 guys will start this week, and it'll continue to be a battle every week.
It seemed like Dayon had a chance at, I don't know how many sacks on, in tackles behind the line of scrimmage at Virginia Tech. What was, as you went over the film with him, as Charlie went over the film with him, what did you guys try to emphasize to him about finishing those plays?
Yeah, well, the quarterback was a elusive runner. He really made plays. And I think the big thing is just got to wrap up. You just got to keep moving your feet and wrap up, and then we got to have 10 more guys there to make the play, because with a guy like that, you're not going to make it by yourself many times.
Does the intensity ratchet up this when a team is going through a rough time, either in meetings or in practice? Is there more intensity there around?
I'd like to think every day's an intense day for us. You know, we pride ourselves on being physical. You try to continue to do that, but sure, I think guys are competing to be starters, and you know that brings up intensity.
Randy, apologies if this might be awkward, but what have you seen from Braylon this year and how he's developed?
Braylon has continued to get better every week. Nothing awkward about it. He just got to keep working. Yeah, the problem with a guy his age, which is a true freshman, is that you're going to make some mistakes, and the critical thing that he's gotten better at is he's learned from those mistakes and gotten better because of it.
Kind of with all your inexperienced guys, whether it's the safeties or some of the young linebackers, can you look at game 1 and game 5 and see that not the same mistakes are being made that were made in game 1 are not being made in game 5?
Yes, yeah, I certainly can. I think the big thing that we probably, like I said before, is tackling. Just got to tackle better.
That's a basic thing.
Basic football. Go back to your basics.
You're in training camp again?
Every day's training camp when you got young guys.